This is section 4.1 part 5, where we are going to analyze how to find the maximum and minimum value of your parabola without graphing. And in order to do so, you simply just have to find the vertex. That's it. As I've stated numerous times already, that your maximum and minimum value is the y value of your vertex. I'm a big fan of tables, so even though we've kind of covered this already, we're going to make a table. Alright, so it'll be a nice way to just kind of flip back through your notes, and hopefully this table will jump out at you. So if you're not remembering how to find the max and min, this table is easily identifiable. So, I've got in my table an A value. We're going to say whether the graph opens up or down. And then we're going to state simply whether we have a max or min. So we're just going to say our A value is positive, or our A value is negative. If our A value is positive, is our graph going to open up or down? And hopefully you've said up. And since it opens up, I'll give you a visual. Our vertex will be down here. Will we have a max or a min? Well, it's going to open up forever in the positive direction. It doesn't go down forever in the negative direction, so it has a lowest point. So we have a minimum. When the A value is negative, the graph is going to open not up, but down. So again, I will give you a visual. Here's our vertex right here. We can see the graph opens forever in the negative direction. So we have a maximum value. Right? We have a maximum value up here, because there's a highest point. Alright, so there's our chart. So let's look at two examples, and then we will be done with 4.1. So the first example we have is y equals negative 2x squared plus 8x minus 7. We want to find the maximum or minimum value without graphing. So the first thing you want to do is analyze this A value. What's the A value? That was what the first thing we looked at. Is it positive or negative? A value is negative, so I know the graph's going to open down. Thus, I'm going to have a maximum. So A value is negative. Alright, and so we're going to have a maximum value. How do we find that? Remember, we need to find the vertex. The maximum value is the y value of your vertex. So we can't find the y value first. First we have to find the x value. So the first step is going to be to find the axis of symmetry, which is using this formula. This is the axis of symmetry. So the opposite of b, my b value is positive 8, all over 2 times my a value, which is negative 2. So I have the opposite of 8 over 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. 2 negatives make a positive. So I see I have an x value of 2. Once I find the x value, how do I find that y value? If you remember from the previous video, we simply plug the x value into the equation. So I have the equation y equals negative 2x squared. So my x value is 2 plus 8 times x, which holds a value of 2, minus 7. Now I simplify. I don't multiply first. Remember, take that exponent. So 2 squared is 4, plus 8 times 2, minus 7. Now I can multiply. Negative 2 times 8 is negative 8, plus 16 minus 7. Negative 8 plus 16 is negative, or positive 8, sorry. 8 minus 7 is positive 1. So we see y value is 1. So our vertex is 2, 1. And we know the maximum or minimum value is the y value of the vertex. And since our graph opens down, we have a maximum value at y equals 1. Okay, let's try one last one. We've got the equation y equals 2x squared plus 8x minus 3. 2x squared plus 8x minus 3. And so we see here we have a value which is positive. Contrast that to our a value which was negative up here. So since this a value is positive, the graph will open up or down? Up, which gives us, if it opens up, it's going to give us a lowest point, which is a minimum value. So we're going to want to find that minimum value, which, as before, is still the y value of the vertex. Still, we're going to use the formula x equals the opposite of b all over 2a. We have to find our axis of symmetry first. It's the x value of our vertex. So it's the opposite of b. My b value is positive 8, all over 2 times my a value of positive 2. So it's the opposite of 8 over 2 times 2 is 4. One negative value here, so my answer is negative 2. So x is negative 2. To find the y value, I simply plug it into this equation. So I've got 2 times negative 2 squared plus 8 times negative 2 minus 3. Y equals 2. Negative 2 squared is positive 4. Plus 8 times negative 2 minus 3. Y equals 8 minus 16 minus 3. So 8 minus 16 is negative 8 minus 3 gives us a y value of negative 11. So our vertex holds the coordinates of, or is the coordinates of negative 2, negative 11. And remember, our a value was positive, so it opened up. Thus, we're going to have a minimum value of y equals negative 11. Okay, and that's the end of section 4.1.